Welcome, my brothers and sisters. You are listening live to the tour on the Sister Speak Show. I am the host, creator, and producer of the Sister Speak Show, Ayana, and it is my pleasure, my brothers and sisters, to speak with you all. We are recording live, my brothers and sisters, from Dallas, Texas. Yes, it is going up. Anything going down is crashing. It has been a long time since I have been on the microphone, and I am so excited to be back vibing with you all. How are you all doing? Is everything okay? Are you pressing through? Tell me about your success. Tell me how you have overcome. Chat live with me and let me know all about it. Brothers and sisters, I am so excited because we have a very, very special guest. Actually, we have two special guests. Dallas, stand all the way up. My special guests this evening, brothers and sisters, are musicians, married. In fact, brothers and sisters, Anna, Nichele, and Crisko Brown will be my special guests on the Sister Speak Show on the tour this evening. Now, let me explain something to all of my first-time listeners. You are listening to a syndicated podcast on Amazon Alexa, the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Now, when you listen to the Sister Speak Show, you're able to listen to 6 segments. And within those 6 segments, brothers and sisters, you're able to catch special guest interviews, live performances, in-studio interviews, as well as live on-location reports. This is great news for you because the special guests who are on the Sister Speak Show, they are phenomenal. And not only that, they are dynamic and they are impacting the communities with their passions and their talents. The Sister Speak Show is a talk show that will keep your mind and your soul informed, energized, and encouraged. We are a cultural renaissance platform that influences a climate that is conducive to who you are and who you should be. No reckless entertainment, just responsible listening nourishment. We don't go dumb, we go wisdom. And it's about making the known known on the Sister Speak Show. Shout out, brothers and sisters, to all of my international listeners. And welcome to everybody. It has been a long time since like I said in the beginning, that I have spoken to you all, but I am so excited to gas with you all this evening. I'm so excited to interview my special guest this evening, a husband and wife duo. All of my guests are just absolutely amazing, and the roster just keeps growing. And when I am on the microphone and when my special guests are calling in, we are here to serve you, brothers and sisters. We are here to provide you with just, a great vibe, wisdom, and just a sense of understanding that you have value, that we are definitely dedicated to you because you are in the village, you're within the tribes, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about here on the Sister Speak Show, a talk show, okay? Check this in. This is a talk show. I'm going to say that one more time, a talk show. And that's for people who, listen to the show and decide that there's too much talking on the talk show. We're going to leave your remedial understanding about how things go just where they are and let you pass on by. Poof, beat it. All right, brothers and sisters, so this is what we're going to do. I just have to play one commercial for you because in the beginning I went live and it was a fumble and a technical difficulty. It was a 5-yard penalty. And I just had to go ahead and say, forget this. Shut it down. You know what I mean? So shout out to my husband who let me know that it was not. It's not on? Okay. Shout out to my husband for letting me know that it was on and popping and that the show is, doing what it does. Brothers and sisters, we'll be right back after this commercial break. Listening to the Sister Speak Show is even easier now with the new abilities available from Spreaker Skill on Amazon Alexa. With Spreaker on Alexa, you can now listen to the Sister Speak Show from even more places from all around the world. You also have navigation control, fast forward and rewind podcasts to make sure you never miss a second of your favorite show. And then you can ask for show recommendations like the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve. Brothers and sisters, we want you to listen live and on demand to the Sister Speak Show. There are 6 segments dedicated to serving you, my brothers and sisters. We have the platform, Coming to the stage, the culture climate, the laugh line, the tour, and the search effort. Oh, the Sisters Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve. Welcome back. You are listening live to the Tour on the Sister Speak show. Brothers and sisters, I apologize for that scratching noise. I'm sure that was highly irritating. Thank you to my husband once again for letting me know. Cut that. So I apologize for that noise as well, my brothers and sisters. But we are still live. Make sure that there is no more things that irritate your listening comfortabilities. And thank you for your patience. So listen, before my special guest called in, one thing that I wanted to do is just briefly, I probably won't be able to cover it all, but I do want to give you all some tips on the music industry as far as how to be a successful musician, 6 tips for independent artists. Because, like I told you, we don't go dumb, we go wisdom on the Sister Speak show. So this was written, I found this written by Ditto Music, actually, and this article is... Let me see. It's about 6 pages long. And so if you are interested in becoming a successful musician, a successful music artist, you have to always do your research, And so some of the topics that they cover, because I won't be able to read it all, is, play to your strengths, brand identity and awareness, stop waiting for a record label, don't ignore streaming, and work hard and stay focused. So without me even reading this article, just briefly, when it says play to your strengths, what are your strengths as a musician? What is it that you can do and do well? Hone that craft, practice that craft, find different ways to execute that so you can always be evolving and always be something that the listening audience is waiting for and, raving about, because you just really magnify that which you have and not trying to play to somebody else's strengths, but just using what God has given you as the foundation for why you do what you do. And another thing, connecting with your fans. Have you set up your social media? Are you accessible to your fans? What have you done to make yourself visible? And how do you manage your page? And, are you always, replying when they leave positive comments on your page? Just making sure that you are always letting your fans, supporters, fam, know that they're there and you truly, truly appreciate them. A positive attitude and integrity goes a very long way in any industry. And even if you're not in the industry, just in your entire life, that's just a trait you should have, period. Okay? Shout out to the city girls. Brand identity and awareness, that, goes the same, but making sure that you're not out here looking like a hoe, Now, some of you saying, well, what's the difference? Because there's male hoes and there's female hoes. Look, on the Sister Speak show, I think you all know by now that we do keep it 100, and we do not call an elephant a tiger when it is just an elephant. We don't do that. So, had to make sure I close the door, brothers and sisters. So with that being said, making sure that you look right, smell right, feel right, everything, your whole hygiene, your entire media presence, everything about you when you stand before one person or thousands of people. What does your brand say about you? And how do you make sure that you're always evolving your brand and your look, not evolving your look to where you're looking ratchet, rough, and wrong, even though that's spelled with a W. You really want to make sure that you own who you are and work with what you have and not feel pressure to perform the way somebody else is looking, accept how you look. Stop waiting for a record label, independent. With the way technology is set up now, you can literally produce your own music, put it out there, and do well. And so that's just what you have to do. You have to have faith, and you have to not be lazy. Okay? We'll get more into it after my guests call in. And work hard and stay focused. Look, stay on your grind. You don't always have to tell everybody you're on your grind. We expect you to be on your grind. What we don't expect is for you to expect things to happen that aren't happening. Hold on, brothers and sisters. calling in live to the Sister Speak Show on the tour. My very special guest this evening, brothers and sisters. I want you to give a round of applause for Anna, Nichele, and Crisko Brown. Let's give it up, brothers and sisters. How are you all doing? Hey. You know what? I am blessed. I'm excited. I'm glad to be breathing, and I'm so glad that I get to converse with you all this evening.
We're super excited to be conversing with you today, too.
Indeed. And we got to say, we appreciate you having us on the show, definitely.
Oh, you know what? I appreciate you all for, being what you are, doing what you do, serving Dallas, and definitely, even wanting to come through this show. I'm honored to be very truthful with you. I'm very honored.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So let's just get right into it. You all are having a great day and everything's going well. You are representing the Big D, Dallas, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Dallas. Dallas, stand up because, we always have to be able to put on for our city. I have an international listening audience, but the one thing you must do is you must serve in your town for sure.
Right.
Oh, yeah, totally agree.
So let's just get into it. You two are married, correct?
That is so true.
I love it because I'm married too. I've been waiting for this to be able to have guests that come on that are married, and there's nothing wrong with being single. So all of you all who are single and listening, I'm not in any way downplaying that because being single is a blessing as well. I am saying that just being able to vibe out with married couple, who has experienced the journey of marriage, and now not only that, but you all are experiencing the journey of marriage through music, and I just find that to be absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much. It's definitely a journey for sure, and it's something that I'm glad that we're doing together too because you don't see it a lot. And it just always feels really good to be able to celebrate Black love in a positive way.
All day long. I think Black love is essential. It's very it's very rich, and it can, when united, it can really create a force that is you cannot stop.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so let's.
I like to think we're pretty unstoppable too.
Ooh, now,
That's where I'm at with it as well.
Yes. And you know what? If you don't feel that way, then other people can see it and it leaves your marriage vulnerable. But when people can see that you are that you don't take any mess, that you are loyal, that you actually care about your spouse, it does not leave too much room for people to even consider trespassing. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
All right, well, shoot, let's get on into it. So, when it comes to you all in music, how did you all, first of all, meet? And then, I really want to know, let me ask how you met. First of all, to you, Anna, when did you discover that music was your passion? And then that's the same follow-up question for you, Crisko.
Okay.
Well, for me, I've always known that I wanted to be in entertainment, and I've always wanted to be a musician. But for me, I always knew that I didn't really sing, or I don't want to say I can't because people can learn to do things, but I want to say it's not my strong trait. So with that, I was like, dang, what else am I going to do, because I just knew I had all this personality, I didn't really want to be a comedian, but I wanted to be a performer, and I'm telling you, this is in childhood. So eventually I was like, man, maybe I should be a rapper. So growing up in the 90s and the early 2000s, there were female rappers in the early 90s, but those female rappers that were out, they were grown up. So it was a faraway thought for me then. And so when I got into my teenage years and even into college, around that time in the climate for music and females in the rap game was kind of few and far in between. And then those that were out there, they were, I'm not knocking it, but a lot of them talk about the same things and they sell sex a lot.
Yes.
And it's just a whole different thing. And I'm not saying that's bad or anything, but, I feel like there's a whole another audience that's out there that you can tap into that doesn't represent those things and that are still aspiring to, really hear my music, and to share with others, because I was vulnerable and I didn't want people to, not like it or have an opinion that I didn't agree with. But upon meeting Crisko and, getting to know his music journey, and then just getting his support, that really pushed me to the next level to just be like, you know what, this is something that if I really want to do, I have to do it. I have to give it 100%, and I can't really worry about what everybody else is doing or saying. Mm-hmm. And then I have to be able to stay true to myself and create that lane that isn't, I can be sexy and do sexy-ish things, but it doesn't have to be all about, like, look at me, look at my vagina, look at my butt cheeks hanging out, artificial, all that different stuff. Like, it's for some people, but it's just not for me, And I want to represent for those women and girls that are out there that also just want to remain true to themselves and who they are, and to be comfortable doing that. And I want to do that in my music, so that's where I am with that now.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, and for me, my love for music just came from listening to music growing up. But what really, really brought me into music was the simple fact that the characters and the entertainment and the culture and the expression that you could show when someone got on stage. Like, for instance, I thought as a little kid, like watching Michael Jackson videos, I thought it was amazing to see this man do all sorts of moves, talent, get the crowd hype. And then when it was time to interview him, you see a totally different character where he sits down, he talks to you, maybe articulates his words. And I thought that was amazing because as a boy, I was like, oh, he doesn't act like what he just did. It's different. So to be able to portray a character and fully express your inner you really turned me on to music, and that got me into music.
Thank you for sharing that. One thing that I definitely can relate to is, watching other people and being influenced by them. We all, have watched Michael Jackson and all, been in awe of what he does. And then we all have been able to experience, a musician being interviewed and just getting to see them on a whole nother level. So I can totally relate to that. Anna, one thing that you said that I always say, because on the Sister Speak show, I don't hold back. So when you said what you said, I was like, yes. And I was like, yes, because these are the type, because it's the type of ratings that I love. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I believe my listeners love is the fact that we go right to the edge, and it's not a disrespectful edge, but it's that edge that it's like, okay, we tell it like a TI is on the Sister Speak show, and you can't, and you cannot hold back. You can say what you have to say, and it just be facts. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to be raw. You're not trying to be raunchy, but you got to call an elephant if it's an elephant, right? So when you said, I don't have to have my vagina hanging out, I don't have to do that, I totally agree with that, because even, with you being married, there's just a total different look and a respect that you have to have, because you're a wife before you're a musician. And, you have a husband who you represent, and, when you're out away from him, there's just a protocol as a wife when you respect your husband that you hold it down when you're in the streets, because men may try to talk. But, my curve is serious. Like, my curve is like an AR-15. It's cold. It is cold, and it is real, because I don't have time for it. But, there's a respect that you have, obviously, for your husband, for you to even say that. And I think that's something that a lot of women who are aspiring to be married, that are, artists, need to also consider that your brand will have to evolve into a more of a respectful lane if you're in the sex sales lane right now.
Exactly.
Unless your husband is a hoe too. You know what I mean? Exactly. Because a hoe's gonna let a hoe be a hoe. And so that's just what it is, So it was good for you to say that. I want to elaborate just a little bit more on that. Do you see the music industry changing for the way a woman feels that she has to come out in order to gain success? Do you feel like there'll be a day when a woman can, get the vibe that you're on and still be successful?
I think that there can be a day. It's just all about how we as women are raised. You know, it deals with your upbringing and the experiences that you have in your lifetime. And for me, I come from a family line of women that really, you know, they take pride in themselves. They take pride in their morals and their values and how they carry themselves. And because of that, that has rubbed off on me, you know. And so I understand, like, you know, that times change and, you know, people like to have fun and sex sells and all that great stuff. That's great. That's fine. That's dandy. But I feel like you can still draw the line. Like I said, you can be sexy, but then there's still a line that you draw so that you're still being respectful and you're not doing too much. So that you're not giving it all away, because at the end of the day, for me, the only person that I'm giving it all away to is my husband. I'm not giving it all away to anybody else. And so, and then another thing for me is also like just being confident in myself. That's something that that was instilled in me as a child. You know, being confident in who I am as a woman. And so I know we all have insecurities. I have them too, but still, you know, being able to remain confident within myself and to be able to stand my ground and say, this is what I want to represent, this is who I am, and this is what I want to portray. And I think, you know, a lot of people just get caught up, especially in this industry, with trying to appease everybody, that they can sometimes lose themselves. But you have to have a strong ground, a strong grounding, like in your mind, your family, your friends. All that foundation has to be strong in order for you to just, you know, stay in the positive mind frame that you need to be in to be that best woman that you can be. And so because a lot of people aren't that strong at all times, you know, things can be a little blurry. But I want to be able to show people that there are women that are still thinking about these things. There are women that these things are still important to them. And just because these things are still important to us doesn't make us any less cool or any less attractive or any less successful or any less appealing or whatever. You know, we're still the same. And it's more of us that's out here actually in real life than there are of the others.
Yes.
You know, there's so much more of us, just regular women that are out here than these images that we see in the media. These things that aren't even real. These people that don't even know who they are. You know, all of that is their mind and their upbringing.
I mean,
start here.
Yes, definitely. I appreciate you for sharing that. So, Crisko, with the music industry being a male-dominated industry, even with it being a male-dominated industry, what do you find still to be some challenges for you as a male in the industry?
Well, kind of to what Anna is saying, but from a male perspective, you got to look at the different lanes and genres that open up. Like, for instance, right now it's popular to have trap music, rap about trap, I sell drugs, whoop like that.
Right.
I could have easily did the same thing. I got family members that do it. I got friends that do it. But my whole thing that I've always told Anna is whatever anybody hears me say on the track, it has to be authentic. There's no cap in my rap for real. Like, I don't want to get tied back to being a liar or something. So being authentic is big to me. So when you come like that in the hip hop industry and you're trying to sell image and it's entertainment and stuff like that, and you're trying to be 100% authentic, it's kind of harder to get in, because I do realize that, hey, it is entertainment. You got to fabricate to some extent. You got to sell this and that. But I just feel like you don't have to say you do stuff that you've never done. Like, if you never sell drugs, don't lie to people like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm out here selling drugs. Because at the end of the day, there's people a lot younger than me or the person that's rapping that is listening to this, and they're going to think, oh, well, I got to sell drugs, or I got to at least pretend to sell drugs to sell my music.
Wow.
And so that's my biggest thing, and I know that makes it a lot harder to get in, because it's like, hey, there's different lines, there's different lanes, and if you're not in the most popular lane, then you're decreasing your chances of getting in. You still can get in, but you got to grind and work a little harder. So that's where I'm at right now. It's kind of harder when you're not saying certain things. You know what I mean?
Wow. I really appreciate that perspective. I appreciate both of y'all's perspectives. I know that this is an epic interview because both of you are articulate and you both have wisdom that's going to really help those who are interested in becoming an independent musician, are already an independent musician, And it just really, is nothing like somebody actually going through it, experiencing it, and being able to extract from it and share it so other people can be like, okay, I remember that interview, and I remember what Anna said, I remember what Crisko said, okay, I can apply that. So I just want you to know that your experiences really do help, the listening audience.
Right. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Of course.
We definitely appreciate that. And I think, for me, I think it's good because I want to be able to let people know, to learn from, our experiences, other people's experiences. That's what life is all about.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and for me, like I tell her too, for me is, leaving behind some form of impact. Like me and Anna talk all the time. I realize that one day I do too have to leave this world. And when I leave, I want people to remember me for the things, impactful things that I did for them. Like, for instance, our son, Christopher Michael Brown II, when he grows up and he has his kids or his kids have their kids, I want to be the cool great-great-great-grandpa on the wall that's a picture. They're like, hey, I never met that guy, but I heard so many stories about my great-great-grandpa. I want to be that guy,
Yes. And that's what it's about. It's about thinking ahead. It's about, breaking generational curses. And before you can break a generational curse, you have to know what they are, and being able to successfully, like you just said, leave something that will be passed on, that keeps that name thriving, that keeps the foundation of what your family, stands on, solid. So, I'm all for that. You are listening live, brothers and sisters, to the tour on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. My special guests on the Sister Speak Show this evening are Anna Nichele, as well as her husband, Crisko Brown. And we are having a wonderful vibe. If you're just now tuning in, you can chat live with us. If you have any questions for them, keep it mature, keep it real, and I'll make sure that I respond or they respond. So anyways, okay, so let's just get into, the rapping and writing. Do you both find that writing is therapeutic?
Definitely.
100%.
I have been writing since I can remember, and even when it was just poetry at first. That was a way for me to express feelings that at first maybe I didn't want to share with anyone else, and then just a way for me to just be emotionally vulnerable without a worry. And then when it developed to the rapping, it's the same thing, especially because, like Crisko said, for me also, whatever I say is true.
Yes.
So I'm not gonna sit up and act like I'm like a lot of female rappers too. They're shooting and they're, girl, I'm not the girl with the gun. I don't know how that works. We're not about to play. I didn't have to grow up in the hood. I know about the hood. I have family from the hood. I have family still in the hood now, but my mom always made sure I lived somewhere nice. So there's just that. So with that being said, and I'm not gonna downplay those things.
Yes.
I think it's definitely therapeutic. I mean, it's a way for you to be just transparent and honest, and to release some whatever you have built up inside that you need to get out.
Yeah, I would have to agree with Anna, and for me it was kind of crazy because before I even just started just really writing music, I would watch cartoons, and as a little boy I would write one-offs. Like if I watched the episode of Garfield, I would try to write my own Garfield, and I wouldn't be serious about it. I'd just write words down, just getting words off because evidently I like to write. Now, I didn't know that at that time. But when I got to college, I had a professor that said your mind is the brightest in the morning. So he used to tell us, hey, you should try to wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning sometime and just write. Don't do anything else, but just write.
Wow.
So I did that for a semester of my life in college. And I would get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, and seriously, I would just write down anything I thought. And it wouldn't be a real story. It would just be words that created sentences that could possibly tell a tale. So, writing definitely release stress, definitely make you feel great. And to this day, I think we both love writing.
Definitely. And I just want to encourage my brothers and sisters who are listening, get into that free therapy. That is very therapeutic. Yeah. And I believe that, a lot of times when we hold it in, that's when we are super destructive to ourselves first and to others, whether it be intentional or unintentional. And writing it develops our spirits. It allows us to be able to, as you all have both said, it allows you to release. And it also allows you to relax. And it also allows you to feel relief. And, in that, it then puts you on a path to what I like to consider to be righteousness. Because, righteousness allows you to make better decisions. It allows you to think thrice, not even once, not even twice, but thrice about how something will play in and out. It allows you to consider other people. And so and we all, and it doesn't downplay anybody's childhood. We all have to have childhoods, and we all have to experience things that make us sometimes have to grow up faster than others, but we all experience a childhood that we could all talk about. And I'm sure all of us, if we could go back into our childhoods, there's so many things that we would keep and change. And then there's some people who wouldn't, that would just say, just leave it as it is. I'm saying that because our childhood hinders us a lot of times from functioning in the rest of the phases of our lives, because that's the first phase of our life. And so we have to be willing to write out about our first phases so we can heal. And then that allows you to move, with more agility through this lifetime. And so it allows you, no matter what environment you go into, you're a sweet smelling fragrance when you open your mouth, your energy, your vibe, because you're healing. You want to smell like healing. And only way that a lot of us are going to get to that point, because some people cannot afford to pay $100 an hour to sit down with a psychiatrist. Some people may not feel comfortable sitting down with a pastor, or may not feel comfortable sitting down with a family member. So for you, to the person who just wants to heal on your own, write it out so you can be able to function later on. And so that's just a tip that I'm gonna always share. I have written many letters that I've never mailed, and I have said some things. Ooh, have you ever started writing? Have you ever started writing and your handwriting's all neat, but you getting into it, and it's just like by the time you finish, it's like you're gonna have to get like a CSI to come figure out what you've written, because it's so emotional.
It's not legible anymore.
But it's healing you at the same time. I just feel like, and I just want to encourage everybody, especially with musicians, you never know what's going on with musicians, because you guys are always in the forefront. You're always performing, and you're there and you're there to quote unquote please the crowd, provide the crowd with, your talents and everything. But a lot of the times they don't know what you're dealing with behind the scenes, And so how much do you think a musician should share with their behind the scenes life, with the whole onslaught of Love and Hip Hop and all the other, but television shows out there that follow people around?
Call me old school, but I prefer when a celebrity was like you didn't even know if they was really real or not. Like the likelihood of you seeing one in real life was slim to none.
I like you.
When you imagined about what their lives were like and what all they could buy, I actually preferred that versus like now just being able to see it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna look at it.
Right.
I watch hip hops and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know why. I can't even really tell you why, because I know it's fake. But anyway, I do watch it and help them get their coin or whatever.
Yes.
But I don't think that I don't. Nah.
For me, I think it depends on the persona of the artist.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. I think it plays a big role on what the artist wants. There's some. I mean, we all know there's humans out there that literally love attention. It doesn't matter.
Right.
They want it all the time. Yeah, people. Yeah.
Like that.
So you got to take that in consideration. If there's people like that, then some of those people will become artists and actually make it. So I just think it depends on the persona of that person, what they want out of life or what they want.
Yes.
What they want to open the doors to.
Yes.
I can agree with that, but I'm still like,
Yeah.
Like, I'm not letting y'all all life like that.
At all.
Like holler at me later. I'm on my Beyonce.
Yeah. I am so serious. I agree with you all 100% about that. You know, I'm glad you said that about the, you know, the old school tip. You know, when a celebrity was, you know, like, oh my gosh, it's like the eighth wonder of the world, you know, like, oh, it's way over there. And it's just like this thing. And I totally respect that, because with the way technology is now, with the way social media is now, it's just like the wave for people who surf is, you know, broadcast it all, show it all, tell it all. In order to be relevant, you have to be visible at all times, and this, that, and the third, you know. And so it takes away from the mystique. And for me, I like privacy. I grew up where my mama used to buy me a diary. I had a lock on it, a little key. It was serious. And I was writing in my diary, and I was just private. And I just grew up to understand that you have to guard your treasures. You have to not ever allow everybody all the way in. Because if you do, then what happens is when your trials and tribulations come out, you really feel naked and afraid. You know, it's this thing about keeping a line of respect. Like, you cannot cross this line. Like, you don't need to know what I'm eating 24 hours a day. It's not your business. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to. I don't need
too
to.
much. It can become overwhelming. And
Too
then
much.
For me, like the biggest thing about it is it lets too many people have an opinion, and people are already going to have opinions.
Ugh.
But when you let them in like that, you give them more control over you.
Yes.
Protecting you is the most important thing.
Yes.
Protecting your mind,
Yes.
your body, your family. You know,
Yes.
your energy. That's what's important. And then when you look at the climate now with how things have changed, like, we know too much of everybody's business, and everybody has an opinion on it. And why? Nobody's opinion is paying nobody else's bill.
I'm telling you. And the funniest thing about social media is, I will say this. I used to teach. And so when I was teaching, I taught continuation school. I taught junior high school. And so, you know, whenever you have to give a test, supposedly that's supposed to, you know, gauge somebody's, you know, level of smartness or whatever. You know, I have my viewpoints on that. But my whole point is this, like, when I see comments, I feel like it's a free test results. And we should all look at them and say, these are the test results of this person's brain. Okay? Because social media has unleashed some of the slowest, not too bright, people that have come from underneath the earth and have found a way to get on social media. And now you are hearing, and not hearing, but you are seeing the level of what's going on in somebody's mind. It's a free test results. I think we should all really just, okay. I know that Drop It Like It's Hot 47 is really, you know, she's not too bright because of what she said. Now, I don't know who Drop It Like It's Hot 47 is. I just made that up. Okay, I don't want nobody texting me like that's my handle. I didn't know. But, you know, you get an opportunity to really just get a viewpoint into someone's mind. And like, dang, that thought must have hurt coming out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so, and also with the comments, it also, if you're not grounded, they can wear you down. I listen to a lot of artists. A lot of artists say, you know, it's just the comments are so rude and the people are so rude. But then it goes back to what you said, Anna. If your celebrity wasn't on Front Street all day long, you would not have to deal with such comments. You know what I'm saying? But you're everywhere. You know, because Cardi B was talking about that. I'm like, but this is what you wanted. You wanted...
Think of celebrities even like Rihanna, and she's young. We don't get to know 24/7 of what Rihanna's doing.
At all.
Think about Drake. Like, you don't really get to see those people. So I feel like, and especially when she gets to a certain level of fame and superstardom, I feel like you should guard yourself. Because you have to protect your energy, you have to protect yourself, and you have to protect the people around you.
Yes.
And people are crazy.
Oof.
People are crazy.
I tell Anna all the time, like, even where we're at now, I don't even really, she'll tell you, I don't really read my comments like that. I know there's good, and I know there's probably bad stuff there. I don't read my comments.
People do, though, either. So, like, you know, I have to remind him on some, get back on your social media, post something on your this, just post this on here. And I'm not like,
but I understand humans and how they react. Yeah, how they're gonna react to sports. So
you know,
like you said, protect your energy. Why even entertain?
Yes, you have to. And not only that, though, you know, also just to the people who may even who are listening to the show, because I really respect my listening audience, but I expect my footstools to listen too.
I promise.
Hello. So I appreciate them listening too. You know, but I expect people who are not activated in their passions and talents to always have something negative to say. And that's why they say it. You know, you have to always consider the source and the resources within that source. And if you look at that person and you know, like, okay, they're not activated, they're bitter, they're miserable, they did not allow, they allowed their trials and tribulations to overcome them instead of allow them to extract lessons from that to make them wiser and to pass it on. You know, there's so many levels as to why people leave bitter comments, any negative comment. I believe 10 times out of 10, it's because you're not activated. Now, true indeed, people may not like it. You may not like it. That is a fact. Everybody is not going to like it. But we leave it at that. We don't have to then, because see, then if you go into the comment, now I know you're nasty and you're not activated. It's because people who don't like it just simply press, listen, and say, okay, I'm not really feeling that one. I'm going to wait to see if something else comes out. You know, and they keep it pushing. But the people who are not activated, who are jealous, who are mad because they went to school with you and you have bypassed them because of whatever it is that makes you have what you have on them, it's just jealousy. And that's why I encourage our brothers and sisters to activate their passions so they can not hate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Channel that energy elsewhere.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, so let's get into this single that I am going to play once we get off of the air. The single Conceited. I listened to it. I'm vibing with it. I'm rocking with it. So how did this come about?
Well, so we both were doing music before we met each other. So when we met each other, I was still starting to get back up to doing music, and she wasn't doing it yet like she wanted to, but she was open to it. So we put our brains together and said, hey, why don't we give it a try together? Because I know like we know that everyone tries to say that, oh, well, if you get married, there's no way you can make it in hip-hop because nobody wants to see a guy that's married and not accessible to women, and nobody wants to see a woman who's married and not accessible to the guys. Marriage is not a place for hip-hop. You always hear that, and you only really see it from a perspective of Beyonce and Jay-Z, who have already made it up to that level and are sitting on the throne, but you don't really see it from a merging power couple or anything like that. So we decided to give it a try and prove to the world that, hey, you can definitely make it in hip-hop as a married couple because at the end of the day, it's about the quality and content of the music that you're putting out. As long as people are loving that, it doesn't really matter about your personal situation that you have going on. It's all about content.
And I think with the track itself, we just both, well, we knew we were going to do the EP based on what Crisko said, and then so we had a couple of little beats that we went through, and the beat for Conceited just really stuck out. It's by Uzo. He's a producer out here in Dallas, actually.
Shout out.
So it just really stuck out, and we were just vibing in the car, and it just kind of came to us, like, you know, that's kind of how we make music together, though. We'll just kind of, like, listen to stuff, and then we'll just start playing with it. And so we started playing with it, and like, I don't remember which one of us even said it, but we came up with that little hook. I did that. We came up with that little hook. So then he was like, okay, this is what we doing with this. Okay, and so the rest just kind of came together.
Yes.
And yeah, then we just been marketing it and trying to get more exposure and getting people to listen to it ever since. So we've gotten a nice amount of good feedback so far.
I love it. I love it because, like I said, I'm all for fresh music. I'm all for, and especially, coming from a married couple. One thing that I want to address that I feel like is so sad is what you said, Crisko, about, if you're married, that, the women and the men, the accessibility. And we just have to call out the adulterous spirit. That's an adulterous spirit that permeates through the hip hop industry. And it makes me think about, I kind of thought about LL Cool J, right? And just walk with me on this. When LL Cool J came out, okay, he has a wife by the name of Simone, right? But so many women lust after LL, and he's a married man at the beginning of the day, right? So,
yeah, you're right.
So, and it's not right. Beyonce is a married woman, but so many lust after her, but she's married.
Yeah.
And it is not okay. I think people think celebrity, it wipes away moral compasses. If you're a celebrity, then these things don't apply to you. If you're a celebrity, then, we don't have to oblige by the normal laws and morals because you're such and such. And we have to start thinking about, okay, when we see these artists, if they're married, we've got to control what we think. But that adulterous spirit will say, don't tell anybody that you're married. And it's just like, well, what about the wife at home who has to sit here and deal with, and we have to, and there's nothing wrong with insecurities. I got to say this. A lot of people say you shouldn't be insecure. If you look at it, it's like insecure is result from what I know to be secure being breached. So am I insecure if my house was broken into and now that I want to get an alarm? I'm just trying to fortify my system here because something was breached. So with Simone, it's like she had to deal with so many women lusting after her husband. Ladies love Cool J. And so when you think about that, it's just like, why would somebody want to break up a union and have you downplay your spouse in order for you to get record sales? You got to wonder, is this the industry for you? And who are these people who are making me ignore my vows, ignore the history that I have with my spouse? when I was going through those struggle days, that's an adulterous spirit, and we all need to be aware of that permeates the music industry. So, I really pray that you all's bond stay the way that it is. It is it's a blessing. It's so encouraging. I know I got a sister right now who listens to my show faithfully. Shout out to you, Trish, who's going to listen to this and be saying, because that's how she agrees, with what's being said this evening. But you hit it on the nail, on the head, when you said that about, having to compromise, because that's what it is, compromise your marriage in order to get on. So I just really want to make sure that you all continue to stay solid. It sounds like you're very strong. Sounds like you are fortified in your understanding. And it sounds like nobody can come in between you all and break up the bond that you all have, even though you all are in the music industry.
That's how it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it is. When we set our vows, we promised that we would stay true to those. And that's what we intend to do. So, everybody else can just fall back.
Yes.
And what was that our friend say?
Mind the business that pays you.
No, she told me, no, what is it? Stay at
your post.
That's it. Yep, everybody else just stay at your post.
Stay at your post.
Don't worry about what's going on over here.
So do you?
So, and as long as it's all about respect and communication, and that's the biggest thing in our relationship for us in general. So
yes.
We talk all the time.
So we
tell each other things that most couples probably wouldn't tell each other.
Right.
And I think that's just really good. And I think as long as we just continue to communicate that way and continue to respect each other and continue to be transparent with each other, that the sky is the limit and we can do whatever we want to do together.
Okay. So who are some of you all's musical influences? I grew up, I was born in the 70s. So I know good music when I hear it. And look, I know music that sucks too. That's why I believe like my ears are tuned in to know when it's real and know when it has to go. So who are some of the musicians that you all listen to, you know, that have influenced, you know, your style today?
For me, growing up, I'm gonna try to work my way all the way up to 2018. So growing up, I would have to go with who really made me want to get into music first. Of course, I told you Michael Jackson. Then if we're going into mid-90s, I was listening to Missy Elliott and Timberland and Genuine. If we're going to take it into the 99, 2000, I definitely have to tilt my hat to Juvenile, Lil Wayne, the Cash Money Empire, whatever you want to call it. Kind of skipped over No Limit Soldiers, but I did listen to No Limit Soldiers as well. Worked my way up to 2000s. A little bit of 50 Cent and Nelly. And then Wayne throughout his whole career, and a little bit of Kanye West, depending on what West we're talking about. 808 to Heartbreaks, Kanye West is probably where I would like to land. Andre 3000, and that's about it for me.
For me, I would have to say, well, I'm not going to go in any order, but I will say one of the first people that just was really super amazing to me was definitely Whitney Houston. Oh my gosh. I know that movie just came out and it wasn't just the best portrayal for everybody, but definitely that voice. And then Aaliyah, TLC, Mariah Carey.
Yes.
Toni Braxton. And then when I got into just really seeing female rappers, number one off top, my favorite is gonna be Eve, okay?
Yes.
It's gonna be her. Always gonna love the real Eve. 'Cause for me, she just really stayed true to herself, and you know, she just really typed me. But anyway, so I love Eve. I love Isis. A lot of people probably don't even remember who they are. Black. The Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, because you know I gotta go there. Green Day. Gotta go there. Sorry. Plain White Tees, also gotta go there. Little Bow Wow. Little Bow Wow. I cannot lie.
You have to call him Shad.
Musically. Then definitely, heavily these days, Beyonce. I mean, not even just these days, since Destiny's Child was ever a thing. Beyonce. And then, of course, Lil Wayne. I love Lil Kim. I love The Brat. I love, who am I forgetting? But I was thinking girls. So yes, if we get back to guys, she's on my top fave list. A lot of people will not agree with me there. Don't care. I've liked him since I was 14. Dom Kennedy. Also love him to death too. A lot of people don't like him a lot. Also don't care because I love him. And I think Cash Money, No Limit. You know, I'm from Louisiana, so that's like, that's rooted in me.
Yes.
And I love a good Webby Wednesday. You know,
Webby.
I like how he's still dressing like it's 2005, but
shopping at that Players Outlet.
And so those are, I think that's, and I mean, I still like a lot of other people that are out, but those are some people that really just influenced me musically.
Yeah, I appreciate that. No, I definitely, like I said, listening to from the 70s on, I have been able to just listen to some great vibes. One of the dopest for me female lyricists, I definitely agree with Eve. I think Eve, her style, her everything. First time I heard her, you know, and you know, what y'all niggas want. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. And she was like, Nubia, Poppy screaming out of their mouth, bombshell. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yes. And so, you know, you had to learn to rap because, you know, you had to make sure you knew it. So when you was around people, they would know that you knew it, you know. And not only that, MC Light for me. You know, and the thing about it is, and I was just saying on one of my other shows, you've never seen MC Light twerk. You've never seen her pop it. You've never seen, she stood there and said, look, this is what it is. I got my hair curled and and this is the rhyme. Respect what I'm saying. And then you can see me. But first I want you to respect what I say. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like a whole vibe. And so I also want to, always throw her out there so a lot of people can look at just like a template of how you can come as a female, rapper and still be feminine, but not have to just necessarily be out there, giving it all out. You feel me?
Exactly.
And then so
that's exactly where I am with it.
Yeah, and who else I like? Of course, Anita Baker, Layla Hathaway.
I didn't even get to my old school people.
Get to your old school people.
I'm really old, so I would.
Yes.
Baker is definitely one of his favorites, but I would have a list that is just I don't even know. I mean, the Isley Brothers, I love them. Shaka Khan. Ooh, I love the Supremes.
Yes.
Listen, Marvin Gaye. It's just. It's a lot of, it's a lot. Al Green, it's a lot of them.
Pause. Okay, wait. We have to pause on it. We have to pause. I got one. I'm with you on Al Green. Now, my mom, I just got to say this because my mom, she is a blues and jazz lover. And she bought an Al Green CD. I think it was the album. It was an album because this is back when my mom had a record player. And I'm going through the albums. I'm just looking, and I see this album, and Al Green got on some hot pink biker shorts and some cowboy boots. I said, "What is this? Where are we going with this, Al?" You know what I mean? So it was just like, woo, sex does sell. And Al Green's gonna let you know it. Have you ever seen that album cover?
I think I've seen the one that you're talking about because my grandma had like almost all of his albums actually, and that's how I discovered him. I know. I think I know which one you're talking about. I actually think he was pretty handsome.
I know. I didn't say he wasn't handsome. Them pink biker shorts wasn't handsome.
No, not the biker shorts. I know one of the pictures I do really like. This might have been a what do you call it? Like a Supreme album. But I want to say he had like cream on, and it was like a bell bottom jumpsuit with his little hair. It wasn't a big afro, but it was, kind of like a fade, but not a fade because it had a little afro to it. And he was sitting with his legs down. I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it, but when I saw that, I was like, man, I know he had swag.
Yes, for sure. The album covers back in the day are nothing like what they are today. I mean, album covers, they were serious.
They were epic.
And the men...
in the pictures, the visuals inside of the CDs were epic.
Epic, and they need to get back to that. Yes, that's what I used to, it was nothing like buying a CD. And it was nothing like opening up and you're reading the cover and, you're just going through it.
Yeah, I know.
The whole vibe, and you're like, there was nothing wrong with that. And I don't know how we got away from it because some things are just good the way that they are. You know what I'm saying?
I think they probably were getting paid better then too.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's very true. That's very true. So with you all and what's coming up for the future, let's talk about what's next for you all, performance-wise, music-wise, and your social media connections as far as how the audience would be able to get in touch with you.
Okay, well, so performance-wise, we have a performance coming up September 23rd at the Green Elephant.
Okay, let me write this.
Sunday.
I'm going to write this down.
We're performing with a whole bunch of other great artists from all over. They have some great people that are going to be from Dallas, some people from Houston, probably some people from Austin. I know I'm super excited to meet Ken the Man. She's a female rapper from Houston, and I super love her, so I'm excited about that. After that, we have a performance in October. It's October the... No, wait. Is it October? No, sorry. It's September the 29th.
Okay.
And it's going to be for the PV Grambling Alumni After Party. The location is still TBA, but it's still, as soon as we know it, we're going to post it on our social media, and I'll give you that in just a second. And so that one will be the weekend after the 23rd. We're also going to be shooting a video on the 30th that we're probably going to put a flyer up for. We're going to make it into like a big kind of citywide kickback thing where everybody can come and kind of enjoy it for the debut of our next song, which is called No Smoke. We're going to release that actually this week. So look out for that. The video, it's going to be really dope. We have some choreography. We're working with some great people in the city on that. Oh, yeah. And so then we get into like October-ish. November, sorry. November, I will be in Grambling. I will be performing there. So if anybody's in Grambling, look out for your girl. Crisko will be there with me too. He'll probably be performing as well, but I know I'm definitely going to be performing there. And then who knows what'll come up in between then. As far as our EP, you guys can look for that to be released most likely in October. We were going to do a summer release, but then we kind of caught some different vibes for what we wanted it to sound like, and the time of the year we wanted people to ride to.
Yeah.
So October is going to be the month for that, which is cool for Libras, I guess, and for people that are also Scorpios, like my husband. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty cool. Stay tuned and look out for that. We're working with a lot of great people there too, as well, on that album as well. And then we'll both have some solo EPs that are coming out. Crisko's is about to come out like next week?
Yeah, a week or two from now, called North Park Nightmares.
All right.
EP from last year that's still available everywhere, called 5 Years Later. So go ahead and check that out as well, people.
And so my solo EP actually won't debut until the new year.
Okay.
But I will be releasing a single very shortly because it's going to be featured on a big mixtape that is called the Exit 81 mixtape that I'm doing with some DJs from Grambling, actually. And so that's going to be pretty exciting. That single is called Work For It. So everybody look out for that. It's something that actually those, the ratchet girls will like it. The girls in the club, they will like it. Everybody, And so I think that's where we're at with the music. As far as social media, you can find me on SoundCloud to listen to all of my old freestyles and all of my new stuff. If you search Nichele, of course. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter with the handle of XBADDX. You can also search Nichele and I'll come up, but my handle is actually XBADX. And Crisko social media?
For me, Crisko Brown, CRISKOBROWN, and I want to make it quite clear. You literally can type in Crisko Brown on all platforms, and it will be me every time. No catfish, it's me every time. So Crisko Brown on literally anything. YouTube, I don't care what you're typing in, I'll pop up.
Definitely go to our YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube. It's Crisko Brown and Nichele. Run up our completed video views. We're trying to get some numbers on there. We've been doing pretty good on Facebook and Instagram, but we can run it up on YouTube. We need some subscribers. So subscribe to our channel, please.
Definitely. Yeah, no, one thing I love is that I can totally hear the vibe. I can totally hear the dedication, and I see the grind, because when I Google YouTube, the facts are before my very eyes. So, I see the grind, but I just really want to say to you all, thank you for, contributing to the music industry in such a way that is refreshing for married couples, for a way that is very respectful. I believe that you'll have a lot of favor just because of the foundation in which you all are flowing with your brands. It's like you respect each other when you're working together, and you also respect each other's crafts when you're going this way and you're going that way. But when you guys link together, it's so much power. And when you guys are separated doing your thing, it's so much power. And you're showing other people that there is a balance and a healthy balance. I know there's ups and downs. I mean, we don't have to get into all of that. But I can hear the strength in you all's tone and in your energy that this is a great vibe. So I just want to encourage you to continue to press forward, continue to grind, continue to love each other, continue to respect each other, continue to curve these wenches, continue to curve these, I call them side chucks and side chicks.
Yeah, I like that side chuck.
But, continue to do what you do, and, praying together, loving each other and listening to each other, all those things, so you all can create a vibe that allows us to listen to, because I support it. I'm how can I say it? My spirit right now is I'm very well relaxed listening to you. I am listening to you all, you know. I say this all the time, like all of my guests are amazing, and I know that I'm winning out here when I run across beautiful people like you two. And so what you're doing, I feel, not only just for the music industry, just for married couples in general, is that you really give us hope, you know, and, you know, it doesn't have to end up like an Ike and Tina situation. You know, it doesn't have to end up like those horror stories that we have heard, but there are several stories of couples like yourselves flourishing and going on to do well. So I'm really excited, you know. I want you all to keep putting out that gas, putting out that fire. Anytime you have any music, you know, I would love to play it, because we taking this show on to a whole nother level. And this is going to be a continuous platform for independent artists to stream their music through. I have an international listening audience. It's no lies about that. I'm not a studio podcaster. You know what I'm saying? I really do this for a living. But no, you know, I want to be able to play your music, because I am on the search, and I believe I have found and continue to find independent musicians like yourselves that have music that is better than anything I'm hearing streaming on the radios right now.
That's amazing. Thank you.
I really appreciate that. And like we said, we want to be able to impact the people up under us, or the people that's watching us.
Yeah.
And say there's got to be another guy and another woman that's making music, and they might have just met, and they're like, oh, well, maybe we can't talk because it might tarnish our career or something. We want to be that couple, that impact that shows you that, hey,
you can do both.
Yeah, exactly. You can do both. Collectively come up together as a couple, as a married couple, and still make it in the industry. Because once that's done, I think we all can agree that that'll open the floodgates. And then for the next 5 to 10 years, you'll see all sorts of married people get into the industry and make music. And I think
getting rid of that adulterous spirit.
Yeah, it just takes one, though. That somebody has to push through. When that person pushes through, floodgates.
Yes. Yes, and that's what you and getting rid of that adulterous spirit, just like you said. And I believe that, you know, with the way things are going, you know what I'm saying, there are more people who are with what you just said than are opposed. I do believe that the adulterous are a minority. I do believe that because they're a minority, that's why it gets, you know, so much magnification. But like you all said, you keep doing what you do, because I was just thinking, you know, it'd be wonderful not having like a love and hip hop type of thing, not calling it love and hip hop, obviously, but having like a married in music type of documentary where we are showing married couples who are in the music industry, who are faithful, who are on the grind, who are talented, who are bringing back the class and the moral foundation of marriage, no matter what industry that they're in, particularly in the music industry. And then hopefully that spirit will rub off in the professional athlete industry, because that adulterous spirit runs rampant through there too.
Yes, it does.
You know, and so the spouses can start to heal, and that we can just, you know, because we got to really consider the effects of what someone's career can have on their loved one. You know what I mean? And so I appreciate you too for being a role model for us and for the music industry. I pray that you all continue to expand. I pray that doors open for you with righteous opportunities, that you both will continue to book shows, that you will continue to have your needs met, your means expanding, and that you experience a spiritual prosperity as a married couple, but that all of your passions and your desires, as long as they line up with the Lord's will, that they manifest for you all.
Thank you so much. We definitely appreciate it, and we appreciate you for having us on the show today.
Yes, we totally do. We really appreciate this. Thank you.
Of course. So you guys did have a good time?
We did. We definitely really enjoyed today's show. I think that this has been one of the best interviews that we've probably had since any interview.
Honestly, we like the questions. You kept it very entertaining, open-minded.
Yeah.
And that's what we're all about, like having more profound conversations.
Yeah, it was
showing that artists are intellectual and it's deeper than entertainment.
Exactly.
Oh, you guys just made me feel like somebody said you get to have 10 free cheese pizzas for a week. No, I'm serious. Like, I really appreciate that. I'm telling you, like, all day long on some pizza. But, I really appreciate that. And thank you for that. I really humbly receive what you said, because my main goal has always been to extract from the artist, from the special guest, rather, and to never do a messy interview, because there are certain things that are not my business. And I just appreciate that, because you all are intelligent, and we have to have these type of conversations to a lot of times dispel a lot of stereotypes and myths, and to encourage other people to want to have profound conversations. There's just some things that you just don't need to talk about, but you guys are the type of special guest that any podcaster or any type of, host of a show you're a dream come true. I didn't have to do anything but just talk to you guys, and you were on. You bought your scuba gear. You knew we were going to go deep sea conversing, and we did it. You know what I'm saying? I love it when my special guests are not afraid of going down some meters. You know what I'm saying? Because people from Cambodia, people from Sierra Leone, from China, I have a vast, broad international listening audience. And and the fact that they even get Wi-Fi over there, I'm so glad. Because some of the no, I'm serious, because some of the places you don't know what it's like. And so then when I see that they're listening, I'm like, thank you, God, that they're tuning in. And if they're going to tune in, if they're going to tune in, let's give them something to listen to, right?
Exactly. Something valuable, that's right.
Yes, it's too valuable and too long of a distance for them to be wasting their time. You know what? God bless you too. What I'm getting ready to do when we get off this phone is I'm going to be playing you all single, Conceited. I'm so excited about that, brothers and sisters. When I tell you, look, the smoke alarms are going to go off, but don't call 911. We're going to let this fire burn this evening. So brothers and sisters, get ready. And to you too, this is not goodbye. I must have you on the show again. I have to have you guys back. I consider you to be Sister Speak Show family. We are in Dallas, so we definitely got to put on for our city. I'm going to send you both a copy of this interview. And this isn't goodbye. This is simply, I will talk to you later, okay?
We'll definitely talk to you later. Thank you.
Okay, take care. Brothers and sisters, let's get into it. This is Conceited by Anna Nichele and Crisko Brown. Let's get it and let's go.
Say I'm a keeper, he wanna hold me down. I got that fever, that's why he stay around. Don't wanna leave him, I really like his style. Conceited for a reason, he really love a diva. Say I'm a keeper, he wanna hold me down. I got that fever, that's why he stay around. Don't wanna leave him, I really like his style. Conceited for a reason, he really love a diva. Ayy, say I'm conceited, I really got a reason. Yeah, I'm conceited, I really got a reason. Yeah, I'm conceited, I really got a reason. Yeah, I'm conceited. Baddest in this city, so you know I run this town. The hottest hidden treasure, you'll be happy if you found. I'm icy and I'm lit. I'm fresher than your chick. I walk it like I talk it, so you know that I'm the it. Jazzy attitude, some people say I'm rude. If I bet my lashes, you can bet I'll take your dude. I got some haters, so you can say I'm poppin'. You want the beef, then we can get it poppin'. Say I'm conceited, I really got a reason. Yeah, I'm conceited, I really got a reason. Yeah, I'm conceited, I really got a
a shotty, another Yeezy season. Yeah, fly with it, and I don't know why with it. I get everything I want, like I hypnotized with it. I had Jordans way back, I was probably 5, nigga. Pulled up, knew that I get that. Now I'm doing time with the baby. This life, Chevy red stripes, no it got pipes. I like the one that I lay in my wife. Kick a chick out, ain't no staying the night. If I step out, no I'm slaying the night. If you cross me, boy, you paying the price. Twin watching me like a day in the life. Money so dirty, I stay with a wife. Mama so nervous, she pray for my life.
Say I'm conceited, I really got a reason. Yeah, I'm conceited, I really got a reason. Yeah, I'm conceited, I really got a reason. Yeah, I'm conceited.
Brothers and sisters, let's give that round of applause. Conceited by recording artists, musicians, married musicians at that. Anna Nichele and Crisko Brown. I told you I had that fire for you. You thought this was a joke? Now you know that interview was on and popping, right? You know that every time my special guests come on a Sister Speak show, I mean, the vibe is electric and the commentary is necessary. And you get to hear extracted elements of humans that are being transparent and providing wisdom. And so I hope you all were able to gain something from this interview this evening. I know I definitely did. I'm blessed. I truly am. I mean, right off the gate, strong voices, respectful. You can tell that they love each other. You can tell that they're confident in their talents, and you can tell that they're serious about their hustle and their grind. Excuse me. That's what we do as independent creative artists. That's what we do as humans who believe in our talents. We get out there, we get up, and we get something. We don't sit around and wait for it to pop just out of the air. No, we have to actually, do the work. So shout out to Anna Nichele and Crisko Brown. I'm so excited. So listen, brothers and sisters, this is what I wanted to do before we get off of the air. I just wanted to let you all know that in the beginning we talked about how to be a successful musician, 6 tips for independent artists. And so don't forget to connect with your fans. Don't forget to play to your strengths. Don't forget your brand identity and awareness. You have to also stop waiting for a record label. Do not ignore streaming. And that's where we left off. Don't ignore streaming. Work hard and stay focused. So when it comes to streaming and your music, you have to make sure that you protect your music, that you are researching the platforms that you're willing to stream your music through. You may have to pay for your subscription. Not everything is going to be free. And if you do just only get the free parts of Spotify or whatever, platforms that you are interested in, iTunes and SoundCloud and so on and so forth, you may be limited because you haven't paid for a professional subscription, if you will. You have to upgrade. So where you may be able to have one on there, that's cool, but if you have an EP that has 6 songs, you need to have those 6 songs up there. So just make sure that you are on as many platforms as you can be, that you can properly manage, that will work well with your music, okay? Visibility is everything, and it's one thing to be on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, this, that, and the third, and have song after song after song, just so people can see that, okay, I'm out here, I'm really grinding. But when we press play, okay, when I press play, I don't want to hear garbage. I really want to hear some real production, some gas. I want to hear some melody. I want to hear fresh music. I don't want to hear that sucky music, that lollipop entertainment. I really want you to really consider what you're putting on these platforms in order to make sure that you are representing your brand properly when streaming. Because sometimes when you ask someone to buy your mixtape, it really should be called a mistape, as in MISS, a mistape. Because there's something missing on this tape. But what's missing? Production, gas, fire, all the ingredients that make a song. And you have to tell people this. Because if you let people distribute music and it sucks and you don't say anything because you just want to flatter them or you don't want to hurt their feelings, then you're not really acting as a great human. There's a disservice when you flatter people when you know it sucks. I just didn't want to hurt their feelings. Are you that type? I just didn't want to hurt their feelings. You knew it sucked and you didn't say anything. You had an opportunity to save them from distributing sucky music and you didn't say anything. I just didn't want to hurt their feelings. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl, okay? Look, hurt feelings save lives. Oh my goodness, it does, because further down the line, if you don't say something, they're gonna read the comments, right? The comments. That's where all of the jumping and the shanking and the tears take place. So we have to make sure that we are actually producing music that is worthy of the stream and worthy of the memes, okay? Also, you want to make sure that you write down this is just a tip for anybody. You need to make sure you write down all your usernames and your login information, and so you can be professional and get into what you got to get into when you have to get into it. You don't need to be pressing forgot my password, all the time. Write it down. Protect your brand. Now, I just got to say this because when it says here about your brand awareness, let me see. Is this the one? Brand identity and awareness. I got to go back on that one because some of y'all are faking the funk. What you mean, Ayana? Some of y'all are faking the funk. How so? Okay, I'm about to tell you. You're faking the funk in the following ways. You are putting your brand out there and you are so desperate to make it, so desperate to pop, so desperate to get recognized, so desperate to go viral. You're ready to be the next now, and you got to have it now. You are just like Mr. in The Color Purple when he bounced his old self, middle-aged self on that horse, and he strolled up to that man's house and he said, I got to have me somebody right now. I got to have me a wife right now. And he was looking at Nettie and he ended up getting Celie. He didn't want Celie, but because he had to have somebody right now, that's who he was with. And he ended up emotionally abusing her and some more stuff. Physical. It was horrible. Do you have to have you some music right now? Do you have to? Are you so desperate to have your brand pop right now that you willing to settle for Celie instead of Nettie? I'm so serious about this. What are you saying? I'm getting to it. It's just like I'm just building it up. Some of you all continue to buy fake followers. Some of you. Let's forget the music. Let's just keep this 1,000. Some of you continue to buy fake followers for your brand. You want to be popular and you're buying it. And that's the wrong way to go. You can't even pop your collar In real life, you cannot pop your collar because you paid for your following. That is how most people's accounts get hacked. If you have a business account on Instagram, you are more susceptible to becoming hacked because your business email is one of the ways that they go into your account and get you. Now, you have paid for your following, and not only that, you have applied for an app to where you can manage your following. I've done it. I need to know who's following me and who's not, because when you follow me, more than likely I follow you. And if you unfollow me, I unfollow you too. That's just how it goes. It's called seesaw. Okay? So when it comes to buying these applications, you have to insert your username and your password. Correct? Correct. And so now they've got access to your Instagram. Boom, bow, there it is. And so we have to heavily consider how far are you willing to go to get known? Are you willing to buy your following? Are you actually willing to have a fake following? Because several million of you do not have 15,000 followers. You don't. You don't. That was one of them Iyanla Vincent laughs. Beloved, that's one of those laughs for you because you don't have that. And your brand is now full of plastic surgery. Your brand is fake. And you have showed the powers that be that you're not legitimate. See, you have folded into the pressures to perform on a level that is not necessary. If you grow your brand organically, when you reach a certain plateau of success and you are interviewed by the powers that be, and you are live streaming your interview, you can organically give an organic testimony about how you naturally went through the journey of success. I have never in my life seen somebody step on the first rung of a ladder and then just jump up to the 10th rung. You have to climb that ladder. You have to. It's rung by rung by rung. But some of you go get on the first rung and you try to trampoline your way to the 10th rung, hoping you'll land on it. And now your brand is suffering because every rung is character development. Every rung is a trial and a tribulation that enables you and equips you to handle the level of success you dream about. You want to get to the BET Awards, whatever your dreams are, whatever your desires are, you want to get there and you're cheating your way to the top. That's how you end up having to wipe stuff off of your face and end up having to get off of the casting couch naked because you had to sleep your way to the top. That's what happens when you trampoline your way to the top, hence the word tramp. Oline. You know what I'm saying? Some of you don't understand that by cheating your way, you're going to end up coming across some unseen forces that hinder you from making it or put your name out there in a bad way. And we're talking about your brand identity. So you don't have 35,000 people following you. What's up? When are you going to delete that account and grow naturally? Because you're the same brother or the same sister that wants to give success advice on your IG Live. And I don't subscribe to it. In order for you to be successful, you need to do this, that, and the third. And I'm sitting over here looking at your following, and I need to know who Nick Paddywhack 47 is that ain't got no pictures, no profile pic, and their page is private. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking to you because I want you to be you. I want you to be successful. And I got to call it out. I roll my eyes when I look at people's following. I know some people really do have a following, a huge following. I'm not discrediting that, but there are several of you all, public figures, who do not have that following, and you make your brand look bad. I can't with you. Please, to the people who have not given into it, please do not feel the pressure to buy your following because you see such and such with that. Don't do it. You stay the course, you grow your brand, you let your character develop, and you execute, and you find ways to be smart as hell. I mean that. You've got to be smart. Dumb ain't never been in. Dumb ain't never been. I'll take dumb for 200. Never. Dumb has never been in. You have to increase your wisdom about what it is that you do. Because you don't never want somebody to come in the room and outsmart you on your stuff. Now, I ain't talking about a teacher. I'm talking about somebody who can get over on you because you don't know the ins and outs of anything. And you so desperate to get on that your eyes as wide as plates and you licking your chops and you're salivating because there's a steak in front of you and you hungry and you're willing to fold because the trampoline. The trampoline syndrome. That's how so many of our brothers and sisters get got. And so when it comes to the village, which is full of talent, I mean, our brothers and sisters are talented. I just want you to be the best that you can be. And if you're going to be an independent musician, look, you've got to equip yourself because the world is real and you cannot trust everybody. At least have your own back. Don't fake the funk on your own self. You first person talking about keep it real, and then, your brand is not. Your brand is full of silicone. Did you get your brand in a hotel room? Did somebody inject your brand with brand shots? You got brand shots. Oh my gosh. Whoa. I mean, I'm just saying though. We've got to do better. I want our brothers and sisters to look good, feel good, and vibe good. So when you get out there, just make sure, okay, that your brand is right, that everything you're doing is lining up because you're patient, because you have self-control, because you're wise. There are certain elements that you need in order to combat these levels. You got to be willing to, restrain people. You've got to be willing to speak before people. And when I say restrain, you got to be physically fit. I've seen some situations, and I'm just going to leave it at that. And keep it pushing. I've seen some situations. I prefer... Okay, now shut up, Ayana. So anyway, I just really want everybody's brand to be proper. And I don't want our brothers and sisters out here looking a certain way and presenting themselves as a certain way. And the whole time, it's a silicone situation. We don't do silicone success. We want to do organic success. And so one thing, like I just said, is... In conclusion with this is work hard and stay focused. And that's what you just need to do. Don't worry about what somebody's got going to the left or right. Don't worry about if you got rejected. Don't worry about any of those things. What is for you is for you. You have to be patient with yourself and you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. Gone are the days where you could use the excuse of, I'm just trying to get to the music and I'm just trying to get to the record label. I'm just trying to pass this CD off to this, A&R, and hopefully they can shoot it to such and such over there at Interscope or such. Gone are those days. No, this is, you got to get it and you've got to post it and you've got to push it and stream it and all of that. It's you working now. I mean, it's almost like the music industry for a lot, well, not the music industry, but major labels are almost becoming the middleman. And you know what happens with the middleman a lot of times. He gets cut out. And that's no dig to anybody who is signed to a major label. Understand that. I'm just saying, though. The middleman sometimes gets the pink slip. Just saying. So with your brand, make sure that you're on your way to being successful. Make sure you equip yourself. Make sure you're studying. Make sure you're looking, at every possible angle of your brand, being honest with yourself, being able to receive constructive criticism, being able to detach yourself from people who mean you no good when it comes to what they say, just being real honest with yourself and not faking the funk when it comes to who you are as a human. And also, one thing I just want to say, just consider your album covers too. That is very important, as Anna was saying, the album covers were very special. So if you're gonna have, just an album cover, or just a picture of you, make sure that this is a good picture of you. Make sure that you are depicting an energy that makes people actually want to hear what it is that you're saying on the microphone. You feel what I'm saying to you? Have your money ready for studio time. Learn how to play some instruments. Take singing lessons. Take speaking lessons. If you're interested in learning how to, do media training, I have a degree in speech communications, and I do charge a small fee for that type of training because, that's just what that is. But I also provide a lot of things for free, like these interviews on the Sister Speak show. So in conclusion with that, be a successful musician. Reorganize your support system, solidify your support system, and just be the best that you can be. Can you do that, brothers and sisters? I believe you can. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Not today, but next time on the tour, we're going to talk about whatever happened to R&B. Yes, I really want to get into that with you. We have a wonderful lineup, brothers and sisters. This August, get your life. This September, Ayana has, I'm going to pull it up for you all, a wonderful guest lineup. So, you just heard this evening we had Anna Nichele and Crisko Brown. And so, next on the Sister Speak show, we have Lamar Lomax, who is the writer and producer of the web series produced by MC Films called Money and Respect. And on Coming to the Stage, the last time we had Amir, who plays Brian on the web series. That was a wonderful interview. So shout out to the town. Shout out to Oakland, California. I'm so excited about this interview. So I need you all to tune in live to Coming to the Stage this Tuesday, September 11th, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for everybody out this way. And so then we have coming up Ben Wade, who is the producer for the Sister Speak show intro. Excited, another Dallas native, showing love to the city. Got to put on for your city. So that'll be at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on the 15th. And then we have on the 22nd, Loso, who is a music producer. He'll be calling in. That show will start at 7 p.m. on the 22nd, which is a Saturday, the tour. And then we have Ajay Gray, who is an actress on the web series Money and Respect. Shout out to the town. I'm just keeping it lit on the Sister Speak show, full of great vibes, full of great energy. Shout out to Allie. Shout out to Ben Wade, who killed the intro for the Sister Speak show. I really appreciate you all. If you're looking for any type of, music or any type of musical production, check out Allie. Check out Ben Wade. You can check them out by going to the description in the bio for the Sister Speak show, and you can check them out on Instagram. Really excited about that collaboration. Also, if you are interested in a logo design, Kiara Douglas, who was also a special guest on the Sister Speak show, the owner of Deluxe Designs, she created my logo for me. So please, Black-owned businesses, I keep it in the village. That's just what we do. Now, see, at some point during my show, here comes that that accent, because it's always going to be a little East Coast accent that comes in. But anyway, brothers and sisters, I really appreciate you all for being a wonderful, patient listening audience. I'm so excited to vibe out with you all. Ooh, wait a minute. Oh, the Suspense Files is coming up. Got a lot for you all. Check out my Instagram page at SGT Queen. Yes, change that on up for you all. You can also go to my website at sistergoodthing.com if you're interested in being a special guest on the Sister Speak show. You can direct message me at SGT Queen. And you can also email me at the Sister Speak show at gmail.com. And you can also go to my website at sistergoodthing.com. Okay, you can go to the contact page and just give me your inquiry. I love it when you all reach out to me, because that just means that you know you're on fire and you're ready. Okay? So brothers and sisters, you have a wonderful time. Hello to all of the international listeners. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Tune in. I've got some on-demands coming for you all. Hang in there. It is definitely going to get better. The situation that you're going through is just for your character development. And it is for you to have consistent testimonies. We could also talk about what the Lord did for us in the past, and it's definitely valid, but he's definitely doing some new things for you, isn't he? Okay. Anyway, thank you all for being a support group for me as far as a listening audience, and I would love for you all to do one more thing for me. I need you to go to cosignmag.com and nominate the Sister Speak show for Podcast of the Year. This is an event, a gala, an award show that takes place in Dallas, Texas. Cosignmag.com. That's mag.com. When you go, scroll, and you're going to see a part that says Cosign Awards, and it's going to say in blue, nominate. Click on that. Scroll where it says Podcast of the Year. You're going to have to enter your email, okay, and who you're nominating, which is me, Ayana Holloman, AyannaHollomon. And then you will go to where it says Podcast of the Year, and you're going to type in the Sister Speak show, please, and hosted by Ayana Holloman. I believe that I believe that this show should be nominated. We have over 3,000 listeners, almost at 4K, an international listening audience, substance, wisdom, encouragement, phenomenal, amazing, dynamic special guests, rich content, 6 segments, one host, Sister Queen, holding it all the way up because anything going down is crashing. Come on, y'all. Support the Sister Speak show. This is not a fly-by-night podcast. I'm not doing it because other people are doing it. This is something I have wanted to do as far as having my own talk show for a long time, ever since I was a young girl. So I thank you for your support. I thank you for your time. You have been a wonderful, wonderful listening audience. And until we converse again, you take care. I'll talk to you later. Take care now.